I've been out of sorts for a while. When I say out of sorts, I haven't been quite myself, and I'm starting to not like my flat as much as I used to. When I first moved in, I really loved it because it has great views of the city. It's very bright. Now I realise it's too bright. It's, I always thought it was perfect. Not perfect, it was nice in so many ways, especially for a flat, because whenever I've imagined flats, they've always been kind of like, dingy, dark, and very foreboding. And this is very bright. On a sunny day, it's brilliantly bright. I have a nice little balcony that I can't use for half the year, and all these little things. But lately, I found myself not as satisfied, and at first I felt a bit guilty because one thing is, I'm from a very fortunate background. We didn't want for anything when I was a kid, and since then I've worked with different people who have, I think, not had as much, or not had as supportive parents or supportive people around them. I've always had supportive parents, supportive family, uncles, aunts. Like, if there's a problem, I can call an uncle, I can call an aunt, I can call my mum, I can call my dad, I can call my dad's brother. So I've always considered myself very fortunate. I have amazing friends. Wherever I've gone in the world, I've always made amazing friends. I like to think that is because I'm a good person and I attract good people. So when I started to feel some kind of way, my landlady now, everyone I know, everybody's having trouble with their landlords. Their landlords are not very nice. They're very passive aggressive. They're just not very nice. I have a class I teach, and these are all diplomats. So they're quite high level in their countries, and they hold very high positions. Even they are complaining about their landlords. But I've been fortunate. My landlady is amazing. She leaves me alone. I've seen her twice since I moved in. And the communication's amazing. I keep the flat, I try to keep it as clean as possible, but I try to keep it well maintained, even with my dogs. My dogs have never gone in the house or anything, in the flat or anything. They've always respected it. They like the space. So obviously, because everything's been so easy for me, I find it uncomfortable now to complain. But lately, I have not been feeling satisfied where I am, especially in the flat. There are a lot of things now that are starting to niggle me about the flat. I don't know if you can hear it, there's an extractor fan in the kitchen, and it comes on for most of the day, but it has intervals where it shuts on and it shuts off. My coffee's still going. It has intervals, and you have to either, when I first came here, first tried filming around it, but I realised I had to go by its schedule, and I never knew when it was going to be on or be off. So that caused a lot of confusion as well. So I just stopped trying to keep tabs with it. So I just sort of talk over it now, but it does make a noise in the background. And for me here, standing here now, it's loud. When I first moved in, I didn't like it, and I wondered if there was a way it could be shut off. My landlady said it couldn't, and what she's done is, let me show you what I mean. Can you see it? So that's it, and I think it's like some sort of extractor thing. It takes all the air out of the building. Obviously, it's not on all through the night. It ends about 11, but it's back on by 3:30 a.m. So it's not really a longer period, but I think this is like a block of flats. It's really long. It's about 10 floors high, and on each floor you have 6 flats on each floor. So you're looking at 60 flats per floor up in the building. So I think that's a lot of condensation, cooking, showering, toilet use, and I get it. But what my landlady should have done was boxed it all in somehow, but she didn't do that. I don't know, because I've been into other flats here and they didn't have the same amount of noise. So anyway, and I realised that the noise started to get on my nerves, right? And the flat in general, the layout, there's not enough storage space. If I was to stay here longer, I would have to get more furniture. I don't really like the furniture on sale at the moment. So just little things, just little persnickety things. And I've just felt really bad. And then I realised that actually it's just time to move on. I've outgrown the space. When I first came here, I was more about socialising with my friends. I didn't spend so much time in the flat. I went out quite a bit. I was meeting friends for coffee, dining out, that sort of thing. But since I'm spending more time in the kitchen now, I'm cooking a lot, baking a lot, I'm writing a lot more from home, it's become uncomfortable, and that's fine. It is a comfortable flat, but it does, after a while, you do have to work around the parameters, because for example, when I'm filming, the lighting is too harsh, so I'm either like completely washed out, or I'm completely in the dark when it gets darker at night. The layout of the bedroom is not too great, because I'd wanted a bedroom with just more curtains, but to get the curtains on, I have to get all the blinds down, and the landlady's blinds, so there were too many concessions I had to make, and I think that those concessions have started to get on my nerves. But by towards the middle and the end of this year, I would have been here for 3 years, and I think that is an amazing amount of time, and I should be happy with it, because it means that I've grown and I'm ready to move on. And I think it's something that we need to look at more, because I think when we start to get dissatisfied, we're told as children, you should be happy with what you have, you should be satisfied, you should be, just stick with it, just be grateful. And I think not. I think once you start to want to move on to other things, all my cups are missing. Once you start to want to move on to other things, it means, in my opinion, that you're progressing. You're out of your dark spell or whatever, or your dark phase, and you are actually progressing, and I think that's amazing. So I'm looking at it as more of a chance to see what's next in my life, what's happening, where I need to go to next. I was thinking of moving back home, but I'm not sure about that yet, because it's very tempting to, because I could decorate exactly as I wanted, I could do this, I could do that, and all my family, all my cousins and everyone's there as well, so that'd be really quite fun. So I have to really think about it. I do have to think about it and think about what direction I want to head in. But it's just to say that if you are becoming dissatisfied with where you are, it just probably means that you need a change, and there's nothing wrong with that. Also, being at the school, I like being at the school, I like working at the school, it's nice, I work there part-time, it's very fun, it's a very supportive environment, but in the last 2 years, so many friends I've made there have left. Majority have left the country, and I think it's left a bit of a void, because you just can't keep having friends. We're still friendly, everything's still going great, but you can't keep having people just pop in and out, because I think that causes a bit of instability. And I feel like, even though I do have lots of friends here, sometimes I do feel very alone, like I'm alone even though I'm surrounded by people. But that's because so many of the people I've met have always eventually left the city, because they're not here for a very long time, or maybe it's not, they want better opportunities elsewhere, they just want to move, or maybe the weather, or whatever reason they choose. So it's a bit of it's a time of reckoning, where I have to decide, I have to decide what's going on, what I want to do, where I want to end up. But it's been a good experience. But working at the school now is becoming tedious, because when I first got the job, I got the job to get me out of my flat. You know, it was more about getting me out of my flat and getting me to meet people, because I can be very antisocial sometimes, and I can be very, I can stick to myself. I can be at home for weeks at a time and not see anyone and just see my dogs, but I began to realize how unhealthy that could be. So I try to see friends at least once a week now. But yeah, that's where I am right now. And it's tough because I'm not used to actually having a good experience in a place and then wanting to leave it. But one of my friends who left last year, she said something really poignant to me. She said something so important. She said, if you don't leave at a certain point, you get stuck. You get stuck there financially, you get stuck there, you just get stuck and you can't actually move on. And I have friends who are like that here, who are not very happy, but because they've tied everything up here, their finances, they just have to, even though they can live anywhere in the world, they just have to stay here. Which to me is absolutely insane. So I don't want that to happen to me. A 9 a.m. class to prepare for, and I know it's going to be a nightmare. She's one of those students who always cancels last minute as well, so I don't know if she's actually going to cancel or if she's actually not. So I'm waiting for that inevitable email to say, oh, she's coming or she's not coming. Because if she's not coming, I could just stay in. But hopefully she emails before. She emails by 8 a.m. so I know not to go in or to go in. Hello Guinness, what's up? Even the dogs seem affected by this weather. Raffles just seems a bit meh at the moment, but I think that's also because I haven't, they usually get treats in the morning, but I haven't given them any today because they had a really big dinner last night. Oh, I'm ever hopeful, but I have a feeling that because she's cancelled so much in January already, I have a feeling she's going to turn up. So I have to perform a miracle in like 20 minutes and get dressed, get ready, look presentable, and get to work. This table has taken me longer than normal to assemble, but I just needed a standing desk. Oh, and it rolls, yep. I needed a standing desk I could stand at, so I bought it for really cheap, and it's just arrived. Well, I had to chase it around the city, but it seems all right. Not, you know, the casters are still rolling, but it's taken me too damn long to do this. I'm going to bed. Good night.